Hello and very good afternoon to everyone. All right, and welcome to Saito University College Virtual Open Day 2021. I'm Mr. Lutfi Halim from Saito Business School, and with me today are three very interesting speakers that we have invited for this topic today, which is the career of digital marketing and e-business in IR 4.0 era. And with me today, firstly, is Dr. Jenny Wong, the Dean for Saito Business School. Hi, Dr. Jenny, how are you?
I'm very good. How about yourself, Luffy?
Okay, I'm very good. Just had my COVID shot on the 22nd of August that day.
Wow.
Okay. Second one is actually Miss Mallory. Miss Mallory is co-founder of Work Inspires, and we also know her from as TEDx speaker, very famous in the industry as well. And I think her highlight of her career is actually attending Barack Obama town hall in right? Miss Mallory,
Yeah,
how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. And our final speaker, the third one is um, he's with Authority Institute. He called himself Marketing Strategist as well as New Profit Consultant. Uh, Everyone knows Maverick Foo. Welcome, Maverick, to the show.
Hey, hi, thanks for having me. Good afternoon, everyone. And yes,
Okay.
career in digital marketing. Everything is digital right now and everything's online. Not saying the lockdown is going to be extended, but you never know. So better be prepared.
Okay. True. All right. Okay. So without wasting any more time, let's start with our coffee chat today. Yeah, I would like to pose the first question to Maverick. All right.
Hmm.
As you know, digital marketing is the current gig and maybe the future trends in another 5, 10, 15 years time in the future. So from your expert opinion, having working with corporate players, industry and so on, all right, do you think students and maybe future university graduates should actually join digital marketing industry?
Actually, I wouldn't even just say digital marketing is an industry. It's almost like I guess my parents' time. So I'm 39. So my mom, it should be about 60, 55 to 65, that age. You see that age, they can totally go away with not knowing things like Microsoft Word. You can still use the old methods and stuff like this, and you can get away with it because if you don't know Microsoft Word and whatnot, I think if you already past 55, it's fine. But at the workplace, I think if you don't know Microsoft Office, like right now, frankly, Microsoft Office would be kind of dated. Everything is collaborative, everything is online right now. So I suspect digital marketing is going to be like that as well. So it's going to be like a base. Uh, I, because under digital marketing, there are so many things. I think at the very least, content creation and social media marketing, it will be like a prerequisite regardless of which industry you pick. Because think about it, if you want to get hired today, we don't know when career fairs and open days and even interviews, everything is done online. And if let's say I'm applying for a job with Saito, if Dr. Jenny is my interviewer, there's a very high chance that she's going to Google me first, who's this Maverick Foo guy. And that's a part of digital marketing already, because how I actually brand myself online. So graduates, everyone, you will need to basically have a decent online presence. And that is the outcome of having good digital marketing skills. So yes, for sure. I think the next, frankly, I don't know how long the computer age would actually last. I think it's going to be here for a long time. But end of the day, digital is the way to go. But I guess what I can end with as well is that marketing has been around since the early 50s, 1950s. It's just that digital is just a new platform. It doesn't change the fact that we still have to understand that marketing has a lot to do with psychology. So even if we say, oh, everything is digital, it doesn't change the fact that the other person at the other end of interacting with your content is still a human, which means I think the human behaviors and all that still have to come into play. So that's my thought when it comes to digital marketing. Hope that answers your question, Lutfi.
Okay, so thank you for that great answers, Maverick. Okay, next I will ask Dr. Jenny. All right, Doc, Dr. Jenny, do you agree with Maverick's statement just now on the in terms of future of digital marketing to university students?
Yeah. Thanks, Lutfi. I hope you can hear
Yeah.
me clearly.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
All right. All right.
Okay.
I think it's very good that Maverick has actually shown that marketing is still the basis, and digital marketing is actually a further extension or expansion of what we have. But that doesn't discount the fact that digital marketing graduates are actually having higher salary. There's a statistics that actually shown those who actually actually venture into the digital marketing are actually getting higher salary than the conventional. So that is the way that it has to be, from now onwards, because of the IR4.0, the digitalization, coupled with the pandemic. In 2020, we have it since until now. So all these things have actually accelerated the technology or the advancement of the technology, and digital marketing is actually a part of it. And as for graduates, I believe that it is very important to equip themselves, not only with the marketing aspects of it, but from the digital point of view as well. Like what Maverick has mentioned just now, everything can be Google. If you just type in Maverick Foo, all the details will be there. So this actually shows how powerful it is, digitalization nowadays. Yeah.
Okay, because since pandemic COVID-19 happened, everyone keep talking about all these things, digital transformation. Business need to be digitalized. So I will actually post next question to Mallory. Mel, we all know that you co-founded a company called Work Inspires, right? Yeah. So, what is actually your biggest challenge in managing Work Inspires, in managing it digitally? Because lah, during pandemic COVID-19, like no physical movement, no physical like interaction with people to actually because we don't want us to be the next cluster, right, for COVID-19. So what will be your advice basically in to today university graduate basically do when they want to explore or involve in entrepreneurship upon graduation? Do they need to, let's say, makan gaji first or straight away do their business?
Thanks. That's a good question. I think, okay,
Yeah.
let me touch on the entrepreneurship part first. I think generally, right, in the world today, entrepreneurship is not as complicated as it was. These days, there are lots of good support systems. There are lots of courses anyone can attend. And with the pandemic, like this coffee session itself, it's already available for a lot of people to actually start. So, and with that, also, there are a lot of government incentives for those who actually want to start a business today. So, in terms of picking, you don't have to me. You can, like for me, I'm somebody that jumps straight into a business with just about a year of contract working, and then I jump straight into the business because for me, the risk is better, commitment is lesser, so I can afford to do it at this point. But of course, it varies people to people. But I think the key thing about and I think Maverick can add value on this as well, is that in terms of going the digital element, a lot of people want to jump on board this technology element or digital element, but it's important for you to know why and what digital tool to use, because a lot of time all these digital tools are available but people are misusing it in some way, so overcomplicating things that you don't need to use, and on the other hand also doing things that you don't understand. I'll give you an example. Like for me, I think for my early business I actually made a mistake. I went to I went to try dabbling into a technology platform, and I'm not a coder, neither am I a programmer, and I do not know anything about it. And hence why I had so much difficulty trying to talk to my programmers and coders and all that, because I don't speak the language. Which is why my advice would be for all the businesses to please be think about what are the areas you need to go into before you invest so much money into it as well. And I think for the graduates out there, just to touch base, sometimes you may feel that, oh my gosh, there's so much thing to learn. It's so complicated, this digital marketing world. And so many things about, just basic, take a step back about marketing. I think for basic, update your LinkedIn profile and use it effectively. It's already a good start of how can you, start branding yourself and marketing yourself and getting a job, or you want to start a business. I think that's the most basic essential to it. I think Maverick can add a bit more on the business element for the digital marketing side.
Okay, so maybe Mav, do you want to add something on what Mallory mentioned just now about entrepreneurship and digital marketing per se? Should actually they do straight away business, or they should makan gaji first?
Okay, it's very hard to say, depending whether how rich your parents are, because depending on like I heard of this guy who started, parents gave him like $10 million to start, right? And so he splurged it all up, which is good. He splurged $1 million on Facebook ads, and the first business did not work. And he's like, yeah, never mind, I still got 9 million. I'm like, man, even for us back then, to put $1,000 into Facebook ads, we'll have to think quite a fair bit. So I think as a great equalizer, let's remove the wealth part, because not all of us have wealthy parents that can give us 10 million to start a business, right? But I think I agree with what Mallory mentioned as well, because okay, I'm not saying I'm old, but started business when I was 18, 18 years ago. So that was about 2003. So back then, I'll admit my advantage was language. I was pretty okay because my mom has trained me really well in English, even though despite 12 years in Mandarin school. So that has enabled me to learn a lot faster online. So everything just Google. Like how I learned Adobe Illustrator is just F1 University, because anytime you're stuck, you press F1, the help file comes out, and then you read. So I think right now with that, it has lowered the barrier by a lot. Like it's so much easier to do drop shipping right now. You don't even need to take stock. Last time we had to take stock, had to explain to our parents, oh, we're going to use the storeroom for stuff, and probably going to use half of the living room as well. But so I think technology has made it so much easier. But then the next problem comes in. Everything is more commoditized now. If I can import coffee from China, Mallory can do it, Dr. Jenny can do it, Lutfi can do it. If everyone comes in, then you go, so the consumer will go to Lazada. And the only two things that will help me decide, should I take from Mallory or should I take from Lutfi, is either the price or the reviews, which reflects on your brand. So if let's say nobody has a decent review, heck man, I'll just go with price. So right now we are in the state where, although yes, I agree with Mallory that entrepreneurship have never been easier, but standing out to be a brand owner, I would say it's actually easier as well. It's just that a lot of people are not catching up yet. So I still see a lot of business owners or even students, right? They realize that, oh, never mind, I just built my company brand big, and then after that, I'm just the face behind it. It doesn't work anymore. If you talk to most CEOs in Fortune 500 companies, it is in their KPI that they need to do X number of talks or appearances a year. Why? Because 20 years ago, you can basically hide behind the board and you're totally fine. But now it's in the KPI of leaders to be in front. So I think in that case, so use even for students. Don't say that, oh, because I'm 17, I think personal branding is not important. You have to start now. Even if you work in McDonald's for 3 months while waiting for your SPM results. Talk about it, share, blog about it, because heck man, I tried to apply for McDonald's. McDonald's, if you're listening to this, I tried to apply a job for you guys for like the longest time. I think the only other option right now is that I need to buy a franchise just to work in McDonald's, because the systems part have always fascinated me. But if you kind of like talk about how you were going through the first couple of days, I think Mallory, you'll be able to add that as well, since you're in the culture space, right? So while it's nice to know how is it working in the company, but a lot of graduates right now, a lot of students right now, they want to know what is it like in the first 30 days, the first 30 days or 60 days of getting the job. How is it like? Because then they are still adjusting and whatnot. So do a vlog about it, do a blog about it, you can tweet about it. So these are the little things that you can start populating online. So I think it's never too early to start doing any form of digital marketing, especially personal branding, more so in the space where entrepreneurship has become so democratized, right? I think branding is the one that's going to help you stand out. So yeah,
Okay.
that's my take.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Matt. Do you actually think that omni-channel marketing is the new future? Having said that about
A lot
Lazada,
of people.
Shopee, yeah.
Oh yeah, because if you look at it, come on, just look at your phone. Like you have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have probably Instagram, and maybe if you're a bit on the professional, you have LinkedIn. So even this itself, and then you have an app to check your email. So WhatsApp haven't really gone heavy into ads yet. So to be omnipresent is important because if I only see you on one platform, then I'm like, oh, okay, is Saito good enough or not? Because I go to YouTube, I don't see them. You see, so it has. Okay, if you ask me, 18 years ago, things were a lot easier. You don't even need a website. All you need is just a phone number. You run an ad, go to phone number, chuko already. Now they will go to your website. Your website so shitty, but your ad looks so nice. That drops in the trust value. Then after that, they go to LinkedIn, they go to Twitter, they check you out. So omnipresence, yes, because I think consumers are becoming smarter. They will come on, even before you buy shampoo nowadays, right? You go to Village Grocer to look at the shampoo, you will take out your phone and check at Lazada first. Oh, Lazada is cheaper by 50 cents. And then you end up bundle and you end up paying 4 times more for conditioners that you don't use versus what you have bought over there. So it has become a habit. So I think omnipresent is a must-have. I think as of today, there's 198 social media platforms as of today. So yeah, that's how much stressful, or I guess opportunities for digital marketing. So I think moving forward, you cannot just say that I'm good at digital marketing. They will ask you what niche you are in. Like, are you in the social media space where you're creating content? Are you a content creator? Are you a paid ads expert? Are you an email marketer? So in the next 10, 15 years, yes, you will see niching, which happens in any industry. Doctors, they are specialists. Lawyers, they are specialists. I think digital marketers, there will be specialization as well.
Okay, that's a great answer, man. Hopefully, students can get something from it. To all our viewers today, to all our audience today, please put your question your question in Facebook comments. Because the first 5 questions will get a Grab voucher. All right, Grab voucher. We are giving out Grab voucher. All right. So the first 5 question that is posted in Facebook Live today in the live chat, right, will receive a Grab voucher. All right. Okay. But the next one, I would like to turn my attention to Dr. Jenny. Dr. Jenny, what's your opinion in terms of the entrepreneurship just now? Should students actually makan gaji first, like what Jack Ma said? Jack Ma said that you should actually work in small company first to learn about process and procedure, right? So, of course, the industry now has evolved dramatically. So, what's your opinion on that? Should they go straight to entrepreneurship if they have interest on it, or should they go for makan gaji first?
Interestingly, I've actually invited. I think we actually invited one global speaker. I think last month from Australia, and she actually was being posted this question as well. So what I've actually learned or gathered from that is actually there's no right time for anyone. There's no a segment or a section or a pathway or a section of your life pathway that you need to stop and then you go ahead for it. So my advice to the student is that, of course, knowledge is very important. That's why you need to get your base first and all this. But if let's say you think about makan gaji first or entrepreneurship, my advice to you is, why do you want to wait? Just go for it. Yeah, of course, there are challenges. There are a lot of things, unforeseen and all this. But hey, entrepreneurs, you will never succeed the first time. If you succeed in the first time of trying, wow, bravo. But if you're not, just have to get up. Where you fall, you have to get up. So my advice to the students, of course, you need to get your base, all right, your knowledge and qualification, and thereafter you don't have to just say you makan gaji and then only you try entrepreneur. Just go for it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great answer, Dr. Jenny. Back to Maverick. You're mentioning about some of social media platform that maybe entrepreneur can use. Gary V once mentioned in one of his video, basically, he mentioned something about Facebook in 2012 is the same as LinkedIn in 2020. So can you explain more about that, about the usage of LinkedIn to maybe entrepreneurs today?
Oh, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Mallory, you're pretty much active on LinkedIn as well. So the way I look at
Yeah.
it is that, you see, sometimes I'm pretty sure you have friends who, in front of their parents, they will behave in a certain way. And then in front of their friends, they will behave in a certain way. So you're like, how come this person like two-faced? It's actually not that. It's because of the environment. So I think when it comes to social media, it's the same. So there are some people who go to Facebook and Instagram and say, I don't talk about work anymore. You know what? I just want to see cat playing piano videos. I want to stalk my exes and stuff like this, see whether my exes got married or not, stuff like that. But when you go to LinkedIn, they will not post stuff like that. So the same food photo on Facebook, you just post your nasi lemak and that's it. And then people will like or comment, bochio and mana lah, food porn, whatever stuff. But on LinkedIn, you don't see stuff like that. You don't see someone just posting the photo of a nasi lemak. There usually has to be some form of context, some form of story to it. Why? Because LinkedIn audiences are more professional, or their mindset is actually more professional. So if you post a photo of nasi lemak, you have to kind of story about it. So what's the story behind this nasi lemak? Is there a branding story, like this pakcik is 126 years old right now and has been perfecting the nasi lemak recipe over the last 125 years, and that taught me a lesson on sharpening the saw. That's what Stephen Covey talked about, sharpening the saw. You have to and that is a lesson that I take home. So you have to be more elaborative on LinkedIn, whereas on Instagram you can just put the nasi lemak photo and be done with it. So that's why we have to have different mindsets as well, not just from a point of marketing, but the behavior. So the behavior, because the moment they on a LinkedIn app, they will become more professional. So every word that you say, every word that you post, you have to be very cautious about it, from a professional side. What do you think, Mallory? You see, you're actually quite active on LinkedIn as well. So any tips?
I think you made a very fair point. I really like the analogy of behaving differently between your mom and your friends. But I also like to add, even let's say you talk about a business standpoint, if how you advertise on your LinkedIn versus how you advertise on your Facebook will attract different crowds. Like for my business,
Yeah.
is mainly B2B. So I deal mainly with corporates and as well as graduating students, right? So when if I want to share that I have a program coming up and things like that, if it's for corporates, I will go to LinkedIn because that's where all the HR leaders are, top company leaders are, and things like that will be able to engage me for my service. But if let's say I want to do a value adding content for students, maybe something like this, then I will go to Instagram. So I don't know, some people call me old fashioned for using Facebook, but that's another audience group, Facebook as well. So either Instagram or Facebook for value adding content like this, more engagement, more personalized content. So it depends. So it's similarly like one talk is different for LinkedIn crowd versus a Facebook crowd. So I really do not like people who copy paste content. Like really, to me, it's lazy work. Okay, if you cannot put an effort to edit a little bit of content context for LinkedIn or Facebook, that's exactly how you are as a person. It's like sending a general resume to every company and say, hey, I'm good at everything, hire me. Okay, so it doesn't work that way.
Okay, thank you, Mel. There's actually one question, right? So those who actually ask this question, please give us your info later. All right, your contact number, your email address, and your full name as well. Maybe my producer can show the question on the screen so that we can actually read the question. Okay, it's from Sean Chong Zuan Ki. The question is, Mel and Mav, and also Dr. Jenny, as students, if we have website or even programming skills, would it be an advantage when venturing into digital marketing career? Maybe I give it to Maverick first.
Oh, sure, man.
Yeah.
So for me, let me. Okay. Truth be told, so my son is homeschooled, but of course he goes to a center, right? So when he was 8, so they actually asked me, hey, Mr. Fu, William needs to bring a laptop to school because he needs to start creating PowerPoint slides, and I'm like, come on, man, he's like 8. Do you know he knows? Are you sure he knows how to use PowerPoint? I mean, I'm okay with the laptop. Just give me a banged out one, right? And surprisingly, he actually knows because I realized that Microsoft has made PowerPoint so easy. You can have design ideas and whatnot. So he started playing with Canva and some programming as well. Like back in the days when we wanted to learn programming, we have to do it with a notepad. So everything HTML, CSS, the old way, and every time you upload, you have to refresh your website to see. Now there are WYSIWYG editors where the moment you change the color code, you can see how it looks like. So it has, I think, to wait until you go into the digital marketing career, or even to wait before you go into university to start learning programming, it will be too late. Because right now it's again another skill that is like commoditized. Like back then, I come from a small town. It seems like Lutfi, we are both from Kota Baru.
Yeah, we're both from Kelantan.
Yeah, Kelantan. So I remember my mom's time to be able to speak English is like, whoa, atas sikit lah, but it's a privilege. So sometimes they were like, so my aunts will come to my house and ask my mom to say, hey, can you call them or can you check this letter and stuff like this, because it's a privilege. But then everyone now can speak English already. Everything has democratized. Then when it comes to programming skills, last time during Bill Gates or Billy Joy's time from Java, who created Java, Oracle, it's a privilege if you have a computer back then. But right now, you can even do coding on the crappiest phone. You can actually do Canva. You can do some form of Wix or programming already. So it has again democratized the whole thing. So to say that if you have the interest in website design, like my son, he likes to play Minecraft. So it's another form of coding as well, because Minecraft appeals to kids who have spatial intelligence. So I'm pretty sure there are parents who are listening to this as well. If you go back and ask your kid to draw a house, like how we draw our house, will always be 2D. We always draw our house this way, got the window and got the door. So that means that we lack a bit of spatial intelligence. We see things in 2D only. But if you notice, if you ask your kid to draw a house and they can put a bit of a roof, they will shade it a bit, it's a sign that your kid probably may have spatial intelligence. They see things in 3D. So if you can encourage them with Lego or Minecraft, because in their mind, anything that they see is actually in 3-dimensional, not 2. School don't have much content for spatial intelligence other than kemahiran hidup, I think, because they need to get their hands and need to move things around. So if you suspect that you have spatial intelligence, you probably have the skills in coding. And if you always argue with your parents and you win, right, probably you have very good problem-solving skills, which is also needed in programming as well. So why not just pick it up, take it as learning a language. Take it as learning a new language, and you never know when, because when you start your first business later, I guarantee you the first thing you need is a website or a landing page or at least some e-commerce solution, and those skills will come in handy. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Maybe Mallory, you want to add something to the question that our student asked?
Yeah, I think Maverick kind of covered most of it. For me, the key point here is interest, because just because you have the skill, like for me, I did accountancy, I did ACCA, so just because I know how to do accounting doesn't mean I want to be an accountant. So it's two different things, because in everything that you do, you need investment. Digital marketing, especially in digital world, today's world especially, things changes really fast. Whether are you in a brick and mortar business, you are a mom and pop selling mixed rice, or you're selling nasi lemak by the street, to digital marketing and also any technology related programs. Everything is changing very fast. So if you don't have an interest in it, then you will not invest time to continuously learn. you will not invest time to continuously put effort to grow. So comes back to, yes, you have the skill, but do you actually have the interest to put time to trial and error? Because that nothing comes free the first time. I guarantee you make more
Okay.
mistakes than you do good. So
Yeah.
after you have to put effort to attend proper courses, upskilling of courses before you put in. So if you don't have the interest, then the skill is just supplementary.
Okay. Thank you. And how about Dr. Jenny from maybe academical point of view, in terms of the question posed by Sean here? Do you think that having website, website design, or even programming skills such as Python might be an advantage to students?
To me, any kind of additional skills will be an added advantage. So I would like to sort of like divert a bit. Of course, the like what Maverick and Mallory mentioned, the skills are pretty important in terms of the website and programming. To me, I'm looking at the soft skills part of it. So moving forward, 20th century, I mean, in terms of the IR 4.0, we are looking into a lot of artificial intelligence. But how do you want to integrate these with the human element? So to me, emotional intelligence skills is very important as well. So the other day I was listening to this podcast, and this speaker is very interesting. So he is actually comparing between two marketeers, one who actually talks a lot and the other one who actually listens a lot. So guess what? Who actually got more sales and all this? So apparently the marketeer, or in this sense, we are talking about digital marketeer. The marketeer or digital marketeer that listens more will actually have more advantage and added advantage. And the listening skills is not easy to actually to adapt to it. So listening skill is actually part of emotional skill, which is your social awareness and social skills. How do you aware about people's feelings and all this? So as a digital marketer, I will personally feel that emotional intelligence is quite important on top of what the programming and website skills. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Because this is also highlighted in, I think, World Economic Forum outlook for some of the skills, 2022, if I'm not mistaken, a few years back,
Correct.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So we're back to the question. The next one, actually, I would like to ask Maverick. Mav, do you have any tips on how students today can actually equip their digital marketing knowledge? Because we have a lot of students that is very eager to learn more about digital marketing. Because as we know, digital marketing, it's not a one man job. Different function can actually done by different people. And then also there's another part to this question. Is it by networking with successful digital marketers like yourself? Because previously I heard you have a very good network with famous international speakers as well. Or if it's not networking, or are there any hidden secrets that actually you want to share today?
Okay. Long
Okay.
long question. Let me try to keep it short. Okay. So when it comes to skills, I'll be honest, technology will always come and go. So, like if you just look at the evolution of programming language itself, back to Sean's question, because back then we were just using HTML and if you're lucky, a bit of CSS. And then PHP comes in and, Mambo and Joomla, CSS, they use a lot of PHP. That's why it really started to grow. And then app developments come in. So like Ruby on Rails, Python, especially if you're going to AI space, right? Python, even going back to the original language of like C. C is the most basic kind of language. So it will always evolve. So it's always good if you kind of pick. Frankly, a lot of times parents will ask me like if their kids are interested in programming, what language would be good. I always let them know that if they are more creative, they're more aesthetic driven. I think learning things like CSS, HTML, PHP will never go out of date because until today, these three languages are still being used. These three coding languages are still being used. But if let's say they want to dabble into AI, then Python, or even go back to C, because app development actually starts from there as well. The most basic kind of language. So that's the skill set in terms of technology. But I also realized, but if kids can be a bit more curious, I think curiosity has single-handedly given me more success than anything else, because whenever I see something, I will ask, hey, can I know how do you do it? I always have this interest of how things work. So I think to kind of follow up on what Dr. Jenny mentioned as well. So EQ, yes, is important, or for sure. And the ability to be curious. Like when you see something, why is the sky blue? Sometimes the teachers will slap you, like, don't ask stupid question, but it's actually a very legit question. I used to remember my teacher would punish me whenever I raise my hands and ask questions. And then, science, I was fascinated with science until I go back. And my mom is a teacher. My mom was a science teacher. And my mom said, you know what, you have to understand from the teacher's point of view. So my mom taught me EQ from that way. Imagine if you are the teacher and there's 40 of you in the class. And if just 3 of you just keep on raising hands, we will never be able to finish the syllabus. So you know what you can do? Don't be pissed at the teacher. Write down the question. You come back and ask me. And if I know our answer, if not, we'll go to the library. So kids, if you don't know what's the library, that's how Google was back then. So that's where you go to the library, you flip through books and stuff like this. And you know what? Back in those days when you're flipping through libraries, you remember the information better. Nowadays, I see kids, what's the sky blue? Let me take out the phone and Google. Oh, okay, like that. Okay, put. After 5 minutes, they'll forget the answer. Nothing wrong. The retention of information, because there's so much more information to retain, but more importantly is the kid has the ability, or the child has the ability, or anyone has the ability to find the answers on their own. Very common sense. We always say that, you don't know the answer, Mallory, you Google lah. And then Mallory will go and Google. But I realized that not many people actually know how to Google. They will Google and they don't know how to understand the answer. So on top of curiosity, self-learning. If you can learn, if you have the skills to learn by yourself, because you cannot rely on other people to give you the latest information all the time. Okay, you have to, that serves as a base. And then after that, you can autodidactism, which means that you are able to learn things on your own. Because on the job, anytime there's a new technology, let's say Green Room by Spotify decided to basically go massive, guess what? You need to learn podcasting techniques. You need to learn how to do some recording stuff. You can't basically go and sign up for courses. Maybe you need it really fast, right? So which is the ability to Google and YouTube your answer will be very important. But having said that, a good basic is important. So I always accredited my marketing knowledge to my interest in psychology, like what Mary mentioned, having interest, right? So I think for the students who are listening in, having a base like digital marketing courses from Saito, for example, that will give you a basic to know what is SEO, what is like paid ads and all that. And paid ads will evolve, but at least you have the fundamental building blocks. You have the basic Lego bricks to build something. And then if any new colored bricks come around, you know how to work on it. So I think where university courses come into place, that to give you the fundamentals. Yeah, that's basically my answer, Lutfi.
Okay. How about Dr. Jenny regarding this issue on, digital marketing knowledge? Do from your academic point of view, do students need to equip themselves with digital marketing knowledge before they go to the real world?
Yes, I think I will agree to that statement. In a sense that that there are a lot of things that we can actually self-learn. All right, curiosity, self-learning are pretty important skills for students as well. But like what Maverick mentioned, the base will have to be there. So if let's say at Saito Business School, we have our digital marketing course, and our school is actually based on the Go Digital kind of concept. So we have our upcoming digital business center, and this center will actually act as an incubator. as well as idea generation and even social entrepreneurship for that matter. So we are trying to encourage our students to pick up a lot of skills, not necessarily only digital marketing skill, but also the socialpreneurship skills as well, on top of the general entrepreneurship and all this. So in terms of digital marketing skills, so this is what the students will get, or our students will experience at Saito. So we have our global classroom series whereby we actually take on, like Maverick himself. We are asking him, inviting him to actually share his experience. We have also Mallory to come in to share about entrepreneurship and all this. So students not only learn how to build the bricks by reading the books, but students learn through the experience. And we also have the live business project, the work integrated learning that we actually infuse into our module. So students will actually help to solve the real life business problem rather than, this is what the conventional, this is your assignment. Can you just please complete your assignment? No, the assessment that we are giving to our students are more in terms of the solution or problem faced by the organization. So I think that is pretty very, very pertinent to what the society needs nowadays. Yeah.
So,
Before I actually I just want to ask, guys, you can actually keep the questions coming. We still have some Grab voucher for you all, to actually, to have it. If you're still feeling hungry and all this, I hope the Grab voucher will help you out in that sense. So please keep the question coming in, yeah, or you can put in your comments as well. I think Maverick and Mallory will be more than happy to answer any question or to address any comments that you have. Yeah, so do keep the questions and the statements or comments that you have. Yeah. Yes,
yeah,
over back
because
to you,
now,
Lutfi.
yeah, because now MCO, you don't go necessarily outside, very risky as well,
Yeah.
So we are giving away free Grab voucher for you guys. Please put in the questions. 4 Grab vouchers left to be given away, right? So please just put any question for our panel today. Not every day they will come here, because Math is very busy person, as we know. Same also with Mallory. Even she has a meeting prior to this today, right? She told me she want to enter about, I think, 1:45 just now, right? Okay. Next question. I think I will post this to Mallory. Regarding career opportunities, what do you think, Mel? Career opportunities that is available for students who actually possess a very good, maybe digital business and e-commerce knowledge. Can you tell us of any career or job relevant that is, that is very relevant to business graduate in the next 5 to 10 years? And also, there's another part to this question also, because I like to ask about youth empowerment. How can actually, in your opinion, since you are alumni of Sunway University as well, how can a university help in promoting youth empowerment also?
Okay, thanks for the
Yeah,
question, Lutfi. All right, I'll touch
yeah,
on the career first. Okay, I think generally you can tell that with the world evolving, careers that were once upon a time a waste of time. Like last time, your parents would scold you for being on Facebook. Now Facebook is a job. You get paid for managing people's social media. You can make money off TikTok and many other platforms these days. So the world in career itself changes very frequently. I can give you a few examples. Let's say traditional jobs like auditing, who has been around for a very long time. Okay, and you all know the top five, big five, and all these things, big four, and things like that. Even they are looking for students with digital skills. So students with digital skills actually get an add-on advantage to be hired by them, because there are things like technology auditing and security auditing that they are looking into. Similarly, like another taboo word that a lot of students say I don't want to do is I don't want to do sales. A lot of students, when we go to career fair, they will say this word, I don't want to do sales. But hey, the reality is every business runs with sales. And sales here does not mean that you're going door to door, ringing doorbell. Excuse me, sir, would you like to buy this? No, that's not what sales is. Being able to market your product digitally and effectively online is sales. Okay, being able to get consumers to understand why your service is good is sales. Getting the even a simple thing like managing e-commerce platform for corporates. Okay, like you can work like Shopee and Lazada. People like L'Oreal put their products on Shopee and Lazada. Samsung put their products on Shopee and Lazada. So your job is to manage the e-commerce platform, making sure there's proper pricing that goes out. Do not price drop these things. Those are sales. So whenever student walk into an interview, when the companies ask, so what do you want to do? The first word that comes out of their mouth is, I don't want to do sales. And it's already eliminating 80% of the job available. So it means you're only left with HR, finance, admin, operations. It's like, okay, 40% of the job left. 60% of the job market available already done. So please keep your option open because sales is a very, very interesting field, but people just rename it in many terms. So be open to being able to make money for organizations. That's my summary of a career. Okay, because a lot of students tend to say this means I don't want to do sales. But if you can't sell, you can't make money. You can't make money, you can grow. That's a bit of a reality. Okay. Now, in terms of youth empowerment, in terms of what I like, a lot of campuses are doing, including Saito itself, is they are inviting industry or expertise to come aboard to bridge the gap between theory and practical. Because a lot of times we learn this. I learned this when I was 18. By the time I graduate 4 years later, it's no longer relevant. And then you'd be like, but I learned this like 4 years ago, company, but sorry, man, we're using systems. I remember the time when I was entering ACCA, we were still using the manual double entry. And then when I actually went to try a few accounting projects, and they were like, even business challenge, and they were like, we have system and software for that. The thing does it for you. You don't need to do it anymore. So things like that are theory versus practical, right? Hence why I think something that a lot of campus can do to move forward, I think Saito is really doing very well, is to invite or get insights from industrial experts who are practitioners. They're actually practicing these application companies in terms of what are the future jobs that you're looking for and include that into the syllabus. Now, I understand it's not so easy to change syllabus because everything is, we have to go through, I think it's what's it called, MCQ. I forgot the term suddenly. MAQ, MCQ, something of that sort.
MQA. Yeah.
MQA, yes, that's the term. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, you have to go through MQA and validation. And some of the courses you're doing are international courses, so it's not easy to change something that's from UK and things like that. But you can include it in your curriculum. You can include it as final year projects and so on and so forth, which also comes back to the ownership of the student. The university can prepare everything for you, but if you don't sign up for it, you don't do anything about it, then it's like everything laid out for you, but you tell me that I can't get a job because it's COVID season. Sorry, man, that's on you. That's really, really on you. So you gotta take ownership and do something about it as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that, Mel. Great answers as well. All right. How about Dr. Jenny? Do you have any, from the academic point of view, do you have any, maybe you want to give your opinion as well pertaining the issue just now?
I think to me, like what Mel has mentioned just now, there's a lot of things that the students will need to actually learn from themselves as well. I mean, the university or the schools can always be there, and as a facilitator and all this. One thing that I would like to give my advice to the students or potential students. Doesn't matter where you are or which institutions that you are in, all right? One thing that I actually would like to advise is to stay resilient, especially during this period of time, during the pandemic. So I was actually listening to one of the podcasts. I like to listen to podcasts. So these speakers actually share about her experience. She actually lost her daughter over one very tragic accident, and she is sharing her experience in terms of how she can overcome this tragedy. I mean, I believe all of us, we will feel the same, especially we lost someone that is so dear to our heart. And how can she actually overcome this is the three things that I would like to share to our students. Be it whether in your life or be it whether in your personal life or in your studies. These are the three strategies that you can actually adopt. Number one, know that shit will happen. Yeah, I have to use this word, but pardon me, but you need to realize that shit will happen. Yeah, so you need to accept it, all right, positively. Yeah. Number two, turn any of the negativity or threats into opportunities. Yeah. Instead of dwelling why you are in this situation, why you are having this, you need to ask yourself, why I cannot do better, why I cannot come out from this hole. All right. The third one is, what I am doing, is it helping me or harming me? So you have to ask this question, whatever that you are doing, all right, in order to stay resilient in whatever situation that you are in. Yeah. The action by you, is it harming you more or is it helping you more? If the answer is harming you, then you better don't do it. So this speaker actually said, share, these are the three strategies that has actually helped her to overcome the tragic loss of her daughter and her best friend's daughter also in the same accident. So I think this is one of the things that I would really like to share with the students. Yeah. So that's all, Lutfi.
Okay. Before we end the session today, I think Dr. Jenny has a presentation. She will deliver a presentation on Saito Business School for those who actually do not aware or do not know about the programs that Saito Business School do offer. So the floor is yours, Dr. Jenny.
Thanks, Lutfi. I hope I'm sharing the right file. Can you all let me know whether you see this?
Yes.
Okay, Ken.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So a lot of words there. I know these actually defy the presentation mode, but I'm just trying to actually fit in our business schools program in. All right. So if you can see at the red top, right top here, is that these are the courses that we have, yeah, under Saito Business School. So we have our human resource, we have our business management, we have our digital marketing bachelor. All right. So if let's say you just finish SPM, you can actually continue with our foundation first, then to our bachelor, or you can actually take our diploma to bachelor. Career prospects, yeah, I'm not going to say one by one, but generally what we have discussed today will be digital marketing. So you can see these are some of the scopes, which I think Mallory and Maverick has also mentioned earlier on. So these are some of the career prospects. If you are interested in human resource, you can actually be the people management specialist and talent acquisition and so forth. And of course, we have our general business management, whereby you can actually be an innovator or startup, global entrepreneur specialist, global brand specialist, and so forth. So this is in a nutshell what Saito Business School has to offer. Yeah. Just sharing with you, again, we have the Global Classroom Series, whereby we invite global speakers from around the world to share their experience with our students. So the next speaker will be on 1st of September, Mr. Slade. Mr. Slade is actually residing currently in Australia. So we are happy to have him to share with you in the digital engagement, all right, in marketing. So please make sure you stay tuned. It's 1st September, 1:30 to 2:30. The next one, of course, as I mentioned just now, the soft skills are very important. That's why we always instill into our students. So if you are interested, please join us, because this is not only for our students. Anyone can actually join us for this session. So this is how to lead with powerful kindness. Yeah. Everybody can be a leader, but how do you want to lead with powerful kindness? So this speaker, Barbara, is actually from Belgium. So she's a mentor, personal coach, as well as a business coach. Yeah. Yes, and we have our fast forward program that I would like to actually introduce to every one of you. All right, you can actually learn one free module online. All right, free module online from Saito Business School. All right, and it starts on 6th September. Yeah, until 30th September, every Monday and Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, and it is free of charge. And we have Maverick with us. All right, sharing his experience and knowledge with all of you. Okay, so please sign up. All right, just take a look at our FB page and Instagram on the information on how do you want to sign up for this program. All right, remember we will start on September 6th. Yeah, so explore digital marketing with Maverick Foo. Okay, so just a nutshell of Saito Business School. Why are we different? Yeah, because we are actually bringing the industry, bringing the experience, the business experience, the business know-how, the business acumen skills to our students. We don't just let our students read by the books. Yeah, we have our global classroom series. We have our digital business center, as I mentioned, in our new campus, upcoming campus. We have our industry expert talk, like Miss Mallory and Mr. Maverick. We have our social entrepreneurship, all right? Entrepreneurship, extension of entrepreneurship into society, looking into SDG and so forth. We have our work integrated module, all right? Infused industry, infused module, whereby students are not doing assignment by the book. Students are actually looking into solving business, real life business problems, issue / challenges. Yeah. And these are some of the collaborators, our industry collaboration industry partners. Yeah. So we have Petronas, we have Sinchu, Air Asia, Kenny Hills Bakers for all of you who love their breads. I do, okay? Lazada, Post Malaysia, and so forth. And of course, we always instill our Saito Business School graduate capability. We will ensure that each and every one of our students that graduate from Saito Business School will have that capability to face the workforce when they graduate from us. So those soft skills, whatever skills that is needed, they are equipped with that. So these are what keep us apart, different. All right. Okay, I think that's the end of my presentation. Do you have any question?
Okay, so that's quite a very quick but very good presentation, Dr. Jenny, regarding what do Saito Business School or our acronym SBS do offer. So please do follow our, especially our global classroom. 1st of September, Slate Peel is coming to actually share, his knowledge on digital marketing. And of course, 19th of September is the famous Barbara Vercruz from Belgium. Will do the sharing session, our global classroom session as well. So before we end the session today, I will actually, give maybe 3 highlights that what the panel actually speak today. Number 1 is Maverick tells that about curiosity just now. So curiosity a cat, equip yourself with business and digital marketing knowledge to be successful in the industry. So students, please do this because teenagers, youth of today is very curious. So yeah, curiosity a cat. Number 2, like what the panel said as well, Maverick, Mel, and even Dr. Jenny, makan gaji or entrepreneurship. But if you have skills, if you have knowledge to go for business, go for it. Just go for it. We have entrepreneur who make maybe like 100,000, 18 years old pun ada, right? I heard story that one entrepreneur in the US just selling sneaker shoes can make like $100,000 of $100,000 as well. So if you have the skills, go for it. And the last one, due to COVID, due to the pandemic season, for business, for business student, entrepreneurs, all those who are buying for, looking for, business careers, emotional intelligence vital. So EQ is vital. Take care of your mental health. Mental health is very, mental health And mental strength is very important, especially in today's challenging time. So having said that, I would like to thank you, the panel, Miss Mallory, Mr. Maverick, as well as Dr. Jenny for such an interesting session today. Till we meet again next time. Bye-bye. Okay, bye.
Bye, guys. Take
Bye.
care.
Take care.
Stay
Take
safe.
care.
Stays.
Okay.
There's extended line, right?